Andrade goes on the record. I'm Matt Carlins, and this is Just Pro Wrestling News for Tuesday, March 30th, 2021. A big welcome to those of you listening on OccupyProWrestling.com. You can bring our updates to your website. Email us, desk@justprowrestlingnews.com.
WWE.
Fresh off his release from WWE, Andrade spoke at length for the first time about his final days with the company in an interview with Lucha Libre Online's Hugo Savinovich. Thanks to translation efforts from Luchablog and others, we can tell you the biggest bombshell from the interview. Andrade said his fiancee Charlotte Flair was pulled from WrestleMania because a WWE doctor suspected she was pregnant. TalkSport's Alex McCarthy later shared a statement from Charlotte's camp. It confirmed Charlotte was, quote, medically suspended for pregnancy, end quote, for a number of days after a test detected high levels of the hormone HGC. Follow-up tests showed she is not pregnant. The statement said all this happened just before Charlotte tested positive for COVID-19. Andrade told Savinovich he also tested positive for COVID-19 at the same time. Charlotte's camp stated she's now medically cleared following her illness. On last night's Raw, both Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander were kicked out of the Hurt Business by WWE champ Bobby Lashley. Later, Lashley beat Benjamin in a non-title match. Lashley wants someone to take out Drew McIntyre before WrestleMania, and he's offering up Drew's title shot as the prize. Ricochet and Mustafa Ali both tried their luck against McIntyre in back-to-back matches toward the end of last night's Raw. Both of them lost. SmackDown's King Corbin then ran in to try to take down McIntyre. That didn't really work out, so Lashley beat down McIntyre himself as Raw went off the air. Another non-title match last night saw Sheamus pin the United States champ Riddle with a brogue kick. The rematch with Riddle's title on the line was later made for Night 2 of WrestleMania. Braun Strowman declared last night that he wants Shane McMahon inside a steel cage on Night 1 of Mania. Naomi pinned one half of the WWE Women's Tag Champs, Shayna Baszler. But Baszler and Nia Jax quickly moved on to other matters. They challenged the Raw Women's Champ Asuka and her Mania opponent Rhea Ripley to a match. This came after the contract signing, where Ripley flipped the table and essentially knocked out Asuka. Ripley accepted the challenge on Asuka's behalf. That match is set for next week's Raw. Samoa Joe was not on commentary last night. MVP was filling in for him. No specific reason for Joe's absence was mentioned. Rob Van Dam is the latest inductee announced for the WWE Hall of Fame. DraftKings will be the official gaming partner of WWE. The company's announced the deal on Monday. It'll launch just in time to take your bets on matches at WrestleMania. And one more note, backstage interviewer Charlie Caruso is leaving WWE for a full-time deal at ESPN.
Impact Wrestling.
Tonight's Impact Wrestling is promoting Cowboy James Storm's 1,000th match in Impact. He'll mark the occasion with a match against Eric Young. We're also promised another appearance by AEW champ Kenny Omega and Don Callis. Also tonight, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus Josh Alexander and TJP, Sami Callihan versus Larry D, and Brian Myers versus Suicide. Tonight's NWA Power has the Pope defending the NWA TV title against Fred Rosser.
AEW.
Last night's AEW Dark Elevation clocked in at 2 hours and 24 minutes. Scorpio Sky beat Mike Sydal in the main event. After the match, Ethan Page ran out to attack Matt Sydal, and he and Sky left together. Private Party beat Bear Country. After that match, Bear Country got into it with Jurassic Express. QT Marshall and Lee Johnson teamed up for the first time in AEW. They got the win last night, and more importantly perhaps, they seem to get along.
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor COO Joe Koff was asked when we may see live fans once again at ROH events.
I think we'll talk about it, we'll think about it, and we'll strategize about it, about what's the best way to do it. And I'm sure that over the course of the year, we will get to that point.
That's Koff speaking on the ROH Strong podcast. On ROH's Weekend TV, Fred Yehi won a Pure Rules Gauntlet match, sealing the win by submitting Wheeler Yuta. Also, Mike Bennett and the Beer City Bruiser went to a no contest. Bruiser was poised to attack Bennett with a broken beer bottle, and that was enough for the ref to call off the match.
Japan Pro Wrestling.
New Japan is running another Road to Sakura Genesis show this morning. It'll include the public unveiling of the new IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. That's Just Pro Wrestling News for Tuesday, March 30th. Our next update comes your way tomorrow morning, so please rate, review, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. I'm Matt Carlins. Thank you for listening.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.